Hi, how you doing? I guess we'll consider today's video a part 2 to yesterday's, where I was discussing the 7 chakras and how their spheres of influence can correlate to the planets in astrology. Because 10 minutes really isn't that long of a time. I kind of had to rush the last couple because I was running out of time, and so I just wanted to revisit it, go a little bit more in depth. And for those of us that don't know and didn't watch my first video, if you don't know what the chakras are, they are 7 swirling nexus points of energy in our bodies that are along our spine, and they function as a tether between our physical bodies and our higher consciousness. This comes from Hindu philosophies. And by meditating on them and self-reflection and working to balance these chakras out, we have a path of self-growth and self-discovery that can ultimately help us find inner peace. And so using this in conjunction with astrology can really help us figure out the things that we need to focus on in our lives in order to find that peace. And so we started with the root chakra, the red chakra at the base of our spines, which deals with our physical needs for survival being met. And it was blocked by the fears we have that prevent us from acting. And we correlated this to Mars. From there, we moved on to the sacral chakra and our navels, the orange chakra, which dealt with our emotional needs and our passions, and is blocked by guilt, the things that we have done that we deeply regret. And we correlated this to the moon and Jupiter. From there, we moved on to the solar plexus chakra, which is in our stomachs, the yellow chakra. And it deals with our willpower, our sense of self-identity, and our egos. And we correlated this one to the sun, and it is blocked by our shame, the things about ourselves that we cannot change but we do not like. And from there, we moved on to our heart chakra, the green chakra in our chest, which deals with love, our ability to love and to be loved, and our relationships to others. And it is blocked by our losses. And we correlated this to Venus. And so this is where I had to start rushing. So the last 3 chakras are the ones that I wanted to discuss a little bit more in depth. And so we will start with the throat chakra, the blue chakra here in our necks, which deals with truth and is blocked by the lies that we tell ourselves. Now, I correlated this to Uranus yesterday, but it can also be connected to Mercury, which, is how we communicate and how we think. But the reason I correlated it to Uranus more so is because when this chakra is blocked, we are rebelling against ourselves. We are resisting the changes that we need to make. If we have not focused on our earlier chakras, if we have not focused on dealing with our fears and dealing with our shame and dealing with our guilt and dealing with our losses, then we will not be able to move on beyond this point, because we will be lying to ourselves. We will be running from our problems. And it is only by taking the time to sit down and be honest with ourselves that we can move past this point and start to be honest with the world. How you treat the outside world and the people in it is how you treat yourself. And what you see in the world that you dislike is a reflection of what you dislike about yourself. And until you can sit down and have this honest discussion with yourself and sort through these issues, you will always be stuck at this level. And there's a song by the Avett Brothers that I really love called The Weight of Lies, and its chorus does a great job of explaining this. It goes, "The weight of lies will bring you down and follow you to every town, because lies don't need an airplane to chase you anywhere." And that is very, very true. That is, wherever you go, there you are. You cannot run from yourself. And so that is what this chakra is all about, is discovering your truth, doing the hard work to discover your truth, and then being able to speak that truth to the world. Next up is our third eye chakra, which is probably the most well-known one. And, that's right here in our forehead with our pineal gland. And the third eye chakra deals with seeing through the illusions of the world, seeing things as they are. And we correlated this one to Neptune, the planet of illusion and deception and confusion, because the world is portrayed to us in a certain way that isn't necessarily true. We see division in the world. We see people being separated by race, by culture, by beliefs, by hobbies, by how we talk, by how we dress, by where we grew up. In any number of ways, we categorize everything. And in this, we separate everything, which then puts the illusion of separation into the world. A third eye chakra that is blocked is a third eye chakra that is telling you that you are not connected to the world around you. It is telling you that you are separated and you are alone. And it isn't until we can sit down and truly think about things as they are that we can get through this. And this requires recognizing that these borders that we put around us aren't true. They aren't real. We aren't black people and white people and Mexican people and Asian people. We're just people. We aren't Americans and Japanese and Germans. We are people of Earth, and we are all connected. And furthermore, the same goes for time. Time is the biggest illusion. We have our days segmented up into these imaginary segments of 60 minutes called hours, and by going to sleep, waking up, having a routine set that we follow day by day, we allow ourselves to fall into the trap of thinking that each day is its own separated experience. But the truth is, there is no past, there is no future, there is only ever the present moment, and we are always living in it. And seeing through these man-made conceptions and recognizing that they are not real and that we are part of a living, breathing organism known as Earth, that is how we get through this chakra. And finally, we get to the crown chakra, the white chakra at the top of our head. And this chakra is the one where our ego truly dies. And this one is the hardest one for people to understand, because through this chakra, we understand that everything in the universe is one living organism, and that we are all part of this one collective consciousness. And to unblock this chakra, we must let go of our earthly attachments. And this is where people can struggle, because learning to love ourselves and appreciate our own identity, being true to ourselves, learning to love others, those were all good things just a couple of chakras ago. But now that we have evolved to this point, that is when we let go of our earthly attachments. We accept life and the universe for everything that it is going to be. And this is how we achieve a true state of inner peace, a true state of nirvana. This is how we find true happiness, and that is by letting go of our earthly attachments. And this is why I correlated this chakra to Pluto, the planet of death and transformation and rebirth and power, because through experiencing our ego death, we are transformed into who we are meant to be. And that is where we can find our true power. And wow, wouldn't you know it, I'm already out of time again. I have so much more to say about this. Are you interested in this? Do you want me to talk more about chakras? I have at least one more 10-minute video in me where I can talk about this sort of thing. Be sure to let me know. But for now, that's all I have time for. So I hope you all have a wonderful day. I love you very much. You can book a reading with me at my website in my comment. Bye.